Do you wave your terrible towel when Renegade plays? Reach for a tasty cake when JJ shouts, "He scores!" Does the sound of an F1 engine make your heart race? Doing push-ups with a Nittany Lion after a TD? Then lend us an ear, and we will share the exhilaration of Steelers football, the excitement of Flyers hockey, the nail-biting finishes of F1, and the pride when we yell, "We are Penn State." Welcome to the SteelFlyers Show, the strangest combination of sports fandom since pineapple was put on pizza.
Is it a turkey? No, it's your host, SteelFlyers.
Thank you. That is the always green bean casserole co-host, Ronies.
Steelers are playing, and where are the pigeons?
The Lions hand down a lopsided victory versus Rutgers. What is in store for Michigan State?
At the quarter mark, the Flyers are who we thought they are.
Phantoms sharing the woes of the big club with injuries. And folks, we got to thank you very much for checking us out and for giving us a big listen. We're down here right now with Season 2, Episode 15. And the Standard has flown the coop just in time for Thanksgiving.
Yay!
And that kind of goes for all of them.
No, not all of them. Penn State had a good week.
Okay, aside from Penn State. That was the only one, really. Okay, and there was some good news that we can maybe sprinkle in there. The Phantoms did win, did have a 5-game stretch there where they won 5 games in a row, and then they just lost a couple.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So.
But they had some injuries, correct?
Oh, man, they're, just like we said at the top of the show, they're sharing in the woes of the injuries as well, because now with the injuries that are happening to the Flyers, now the call-ups are going through the Phantoms now, and these guys are coming up to the Phantoms now, and now the Phantoms are like, well, who are we going to play?
Yeah. Wait, I need him.
Hey,
no, wait.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Hey, we need some guys back here. Can we get some help back here? We need some guys.
I guess that's the joy of being a farm team.
Okay, but you know what I mean. So, all right, so let's say a couple things here real quick. First of all, we would like to say a big, huge thank you to Spreaker for all of their great help and support and allowing us to allow you to hear us and to be out there and all of that. So we really appreciate you guys being out there and listening, and Spreaker for giving us the opportunity to put us out there on all the platforms, from iHeart to Google to Apple to Amazon, you name it, we're out there. All you have to do is type in SteelFlyers and bang, there you go. You see it. You find us. So, thank you very much for that. And big, huge announcement. The website has been massively updated.
That's great.
Right?
And looks good.
Yeah, it does look good. Lots of new shows are out there. Got to go check out the Prospect Watch. Oh my gosh. That I got to tell you. Lance and I have just, I think we've hit out one here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you've had some good kids on.
Some of the best kids playing hockey right now for some of the best clubs out there right now.
They're not all kids. I shouldn't say it.
Yeah, they are. They're all under 20.
Okay.
One of them was 16.
Yeah.
Nathan Free, he's 16.
Wow.
Right? Yeah. And then we talked to two 18-year-olds and a 19-year-old.
Mm-hmm. Who's the kid that you talked to that
Why, that would be Ryan McAllister was named to the United States Olympic hockey team, but he was also named to Player of the Week a couple of times in a row.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, guy's playing really, really well, and he was a joy to talk to on the Prospect Watch Show, which is something you guys got to go check out. Go to the website, steelflyers.com/link/prospectwatch, and you can go check out all the latest shows, and you can check out the latest article that Lance posted about a prospect as well, too.
Well, your article is up there about the Steelers.
Yeah, I was getting there,
Oh.
but thanks. That was a really good segue, though. We'll take that. I did actually dabble a little bit and put a little op-ed out there called Steel's Corner.
Yeah.
Out on the website. It's posted on the. You can see it on the front page. It's under Pittsburgh Steelers news. I wrote a little article about the Steelers versus the Saints. So got to go check that out as well. It's called Steel's Corner. It's on the website www.steelflyers.com. Got to go check that out. Also, got to go check out the awesome store where you can get Hockey Writers Inc. and the Great Perlo Wisdom and the Steel Flyers t-shirts. Got to go check that out.
Still say the Perlo's my favorite.
I know. I get it, right? Because you got to follow the frolic.
Right.
Right? So you got to go check that out. It's $25 plus shipping and handling. And so... because I'm like not Amazon, you know what I mean? I'm sorry.
I don't have trucks going down the roads every day.
You know,
stuff off.
that's exactly. So sorry about that, but $25. That's why I keep the price nice and low. $25. It's affordable. They're great T-shirts. They wear well. They wash well.
And they have Steel Flyers on them.
Yeah, they have Steel Flyers on them, or they have Hockey Writers Inc. on them. Or they have the Great Perlo Wisdom on them.
Right,
so
exactly.
There you go. You got to go check that out at steelflyers.com/shop. So go check that out and get yourself a T-shirt just in time for the holidays.
Yeah, okay.
Right? Well...
That's a good idea.
Here we are. It's the eve. It's Thanksgiving Eve.
Yeah.
Right? So... that would be only fitting to get a shirt from the Steel Flyers store. You know what I mean? Or, in a very, very near future, you'll be able to go to a certain grooming company.
Okay.
Where you'll be able to get a discount for something really cool. So,
yeah.
Be looking forward to that because we got accepted to do a trial for Manscaped.
Right. So we'll soon have a discount code for you.
Yep, and we'll also have a commercial, and we'll have a discount code that you guys can go punch into when you get to the Manscaped site. So that'll be cool, too, to check that out. When you see all of our shows, you'll be able to do that as well, too. So, all right. Let's...
now that the business is done.
Now that we've paid the bills.
Right.
Right, you know, so we've paid the bills now, so let's get into the meat, the crux, the gristle.
Ugh.
Yeah, right? You know, like, every time I hear the word gristle, I think of...
I know what you're going to say.
The old...
96er.
Like... He's done, like, nuh-uh.
For those who don't know, check out the movie The Great Outdoors from 1988, I think it is.
Or 6.
It's a great movie.
Between 86 or 88. One of those.
Whatever.
Couple of years, yeah. John Candy and Dan Aykroyd. Great flick, you know.
Okay, we're really dating ourselves now?
Okay, but all I have to do is just say, suck my wake. You want Uncle Roman to drop some coin on a jet boat? Yeah! All right, the name of the boat, Suck My Wake.
Okay, let's go back to talking about sports, because we could literally just recite the movie and then...
Anyway, so yeah.
We get in trouble for that.
Yeah, right. Anyway, so the Standard has flown the coop. Just in time for Thanksgiving is episode number 15.
We said that.
Yeah, and that pretty much covers them all, with the exception of Penn State.
Yeah.
The Standard is a standard in Pittsburgh, except that standard just ain't getting it done.
That's not a good standard.
Yeah, you know, I mean, where are the pigeons?
Yeah, we literally were watching the game and went, I miss the pigeons, because it was just so hard. But see, there were a few glimpses of glory. There were just little teases that, you know, we could be so much better. the interception was great. The TJ, just stuck his hand out and said, "Mine." You know what I mean?
I hear you.
That Najee jump.
I know. I get it. There was some good points, and they really did score 30.
I mean,
who knew? Who'd have thunk that they could even try to do 30?
they haven't. It might be isn't it? Never mind.
No, 30. I can't believe that they got to 30 points.
I mean, like I said, there were flashes of goodness and progress.
Flashes of goodness.
And progress. I mean, those led to those 30 points. I mean,
So if pro is the opposite of con, I mean, I get what you're saying, but so the defense fully healthy and still they're able to just, I mean, Burrows just picked us apart, and
I mean, he had all day in some situations. It was like, yeah, I'll throw it. I'll throw it over there. I mean, it was that much time.
Yeah, the wide receivers for Cincinnati just had,
not all the right. Just there was like the two guys. There were two guys. I think.
Okay, but they still had an amazing.
Oh yeah,
they were at over 100 yards, before halftime.
I feel like we've entered, bizarro world where
Cincinnati is kicking our butts.
Cincinnati is winning by
Wait a minute.
And playing better than we are. You know what I mean?
What? Huh?
I gotta go back and find that branch and get on the right timeline.
I mean, or something, or take the other pill.
Is there a polka dot option?
I mean, can we stop this train? No, look, here's going to be the thing, right?
I mean, this season's pretty much done.
Here's going to be the thing, okay? So, Big Ben, in my opinion, is the only thing really that Mike Tomlin can say is what kept him alive. And he was able to piece together some defense of pieces and put together a pretty decent defense to go along for the most part. But a lot of failures in draft picks, in seasons, and clock management.
Yeah.
Man.
There's a lot of mistakes that are being made.
A lot of mistakes, a lot of penalties that are made that, are
like
coaching.
Every week. It's the same penalties every week. How are we not fixing that?
Like last week, there was only one accepted offensive man downfield or
ineligible.
It was an eligible man downfield. It was last week against the Saints.
Okay.
But that was it. Well, that wasn't the case against Sunday night. Oh no, we were flexed out of Sunday.
Yeah.
Into a Sunday afternoon.
I don't blame them. Honestly.
Okay, whatever. I knew that I had some optimism going into this season. But when I saw that it was going to be Trubisky that was going to start, and knowing full well that Kenny Pickett was the better quarterback in the room, like, why wouldn't you start him? So now that he's the starter, so he's like basically 3 weeks or 4 weeks behind.
Right.
Well, because if he would have started at the beginning of training camp being the number one guy, getting all the number one reps,
right,
then he would be up to speed with all the receivers. Instead, now it's taken him those, 4 games now, to including the bye week, to get on track with some of these guys and be on the same page with some of these guys. Do you know what I mean? As far as the receivers are concerned. So I get what you're saying. We saw some flashes. But we're still not seeing players being set up for success. We're still not seeing players, being put in the correct situation with the correct player in that correct situation.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you know what I mean? And so that's a coaching.
It is a coaching issue.
It is a coaching issue. And
I think the players are as frustrated as we are. I really honestly get that impression sometimes.
It does kind of seem like that, doesn't it? Like it just seems like, and with this game against the Bengals, they're right back to the, offensive false starts and the ineligible man downfields and the whole 9 yards. It's like right back again and nothing's changed, So I know we got the Colts coming up this coming weekend. And
they're not having the best year, so maybe there's a possibility. I don't know.
So you're saying there's a chance?
There's always a chance.
I mean, any given Sunday, right?
Right.
All right. So you're saying there's a... Look, we knew this wasn't going to be after,
I remember I heard someone say that the reason... I think I've said this before, but the reason that Steeler fans are so... unhappy about the season is we aren't used to being the bottom, and we don't like it. We're used to being the top.
That's you know what?
I mean, I'm sure everybody feels the same way about their own team, but
Yeah, but see, no, we've talked about that 5-Star and I on the show many times on the 5-Star radio Wednesday nights. Mm-hmm. Usually around 6:00 ish till about 7:30.
Live
on 5-Star Matchup YouTube channel. But we talked about that too. You know what I mean? Like, as a Steelers fan, you feel that it's a birthright for them to be playing meaningful football late into the winter.
Yes.
Okay, and the fact that we're not and haven't been is like, wait a minute. It's
I mean, it can't be success all the time. There has to be up and downs, but I'm not enjoying it. And I'm sure, the players aren't real happy with, and the coaches you can't tell me the coaches are happy with the way things are going.
Well, there was a lot of upheaval in the coaching room this past offseason in Pittsburgh. And also in the front office as well, too, with a new general manager and everything like that, too. So I don't know how many heads are going to roll at the end of this season.
Do you think any will?
Well, if I had my druthers...
Yeah, I know.
I could think of a couple. Look, here's the thing. And this is the sad thing about all this, too, right? The best offensive coordinators the Steelers have had, they have done nothing but drive them out of town or, quote-unquote, force them to retire. Bruce Arians was a great offensive coordinator,
Who went on to win his own
Super
Bowl championship.
Yeah, and I liked Mike Mularkey. I thought he was a good offensive coordinator, too. Wisenhunt was okay.
I mean, again, he went and got his own team and it almost got a Super Bowl.
Lost to the team that he was
right
with prior to.
I think if it had been any other team that had... He might have won. He might have had a better chance.
But he just ran into the wrong team at the wrong time. And it just happened to be the Steelers, and it just happened to be the catch of all catches, in the end zone there with Santonio Holmes.
Yeah.
So...
Maybe we've used up all of our good luck tokens, and that's why we're having the season we are.
Well, no, because, see, I don't believe in that.
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
It's all in how you draft. It's all in how you play the guys that you have on your team. It's all in the strategy that you have moving forward with, okay, now you just had a Hall of Fame quarterback retire who's been with the team now. You haven't had to worry about a starting quarterback now for the last 18 seasons.
Well, when Ben was out with the elbow, they did have a quarterback issue, so.
But they had...
But I'm sorry, but you're right. Ben was very reliable. Like, he was mostly, other than injury, was there.
Yeah, I mean, and when he wasn't there, then, yeah, they were like, okay, who we gonna be? But he's been with the team for 18 years. They always knew it was gonna be Ben.
Right.
Right? You know, who's starting this week? Ben. You know, all right, we have at least a 70% chance of winning.
Right.
With Ben in the game, no matter who's on who's first and what's on second. And
I think that's another thing that we're missing right now is because our team is kind of young. We're missing that leadership.
So you said it. You said it right there. You hit the nail on the head. We're young. This team is, with the exception of Cam Hayward being one of the older statesmen now on the team, you know what I mean? Most of the guys that are there, you know, Johnson is only in his third or fourth year. Most of the offensive line, most of those guys are still in their less than their fifth year.
Right.
Right? And all of our receiving core is less than their fifth year, and our tight end room is 3 years and less. Our running backs room is 3 years and less. Our quarterbacks room is not that much better. I mean,
we're 1 year or less for that.
And the defense. Look, I don't care what anybody says. The difference in how this team plays with TJ Watt is night and day.
It is. And he's providing some of that leadership, I think, maybe.
He is, but here's the thing. And this is what we saw this in the game, was that now that Alex Highsmith is not getting the double teams now like TJ Watt is, he's able to break free and get home and get some sacks in as well. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He's been leading the team, and but when you're double teamed on every single play or every single down time you're out there, for the most part, makes it tough to do anything. You know what I mean? And with this being only his third year,
right?
Okay,
yeah.
So I mean, TJ, one of the elder statesmen out there, and he's only playing in his second contract. I mean, what? So that's what's going on, you know. Minkah Fitzpatrick is still, I believe, he's now in his second contract now, but he's got the big honking dollars.
Well, I mean, he's been a good player. I mean, I've enjoyed having him on the team.
He's made me miss some guys less from the past.
Yeah.
Yeah. But still has flaws.
Well, yeah.
And they all did.
Right.
Well, not all of them. Troy just... Oh, man. I can't think of any from Troy.
Troy could get a little too...
He was a little too aggressive to try to make a play on the ball.
Right, like
so sometimes he would overplay.
Right, that might be his only little flaw, was that he was just too much, like too intent.
Yeah, I'm with you. So sometimes that he would try to make the play on the ball, and he would miss or not quite time it correctly, and guys would score. But that was few and far between.
Okay.
And I gotta be honest, I can't think of anything that Mel Blount or even Donnie Shell.
That's going back.
Well, okay, but I mean, them guys played a long time, and they played pretty darn good football. Yeah, you know. Anyway, so we have to reminisce because we don't have anything right now.
Right.
And that's the reality of it. So does that mean that Pittsburgh is on their way to hopefully a top 10 draft pick? That would be nice. That would be nice
if they use it correctly.
Well, or if they could lose a little bit more. It's going to have to get dark before it has to get light again. Right? And frankly, I don't, I'm probably going to, everybody's going to probably hate me for saying this, but I was never high on this guy to begin with. I don't think that the future is with Kenny Pickett.
Okay, yeah, a lot of people are starting to feel like, but see, he's in such an impossible position. Like, he's what, like 22, maybe?
He's 24.
Okay, 24. He is being put on a huge spotlight on him, and he doesn't have that experience yet. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, I understand that, but that's why I think there's more of Najee and Freiermuth and Pickens and the rest trying to take more of that away from him, and I think they're doing an admirable job. It's just the problem is that the offensive coordinator is not putting him in any position to succeed.
Correct.
He's not playing calling plays that results in anything that's.
And Kenny doesn't have that experience to say, okay, this is how he wants the play to go, but if I tweak it just a little bit, because you can't tell me they don't, if I just tweak it a little, I can make this work a little better. Because he's on the field, he can see the look on the other guy's face that he's looking the other way. Or
if he can call off on some things, but because he doesn't have that experience, he's not able to make those audibles and make those changes there on the field.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And Canada...
I mean, he probably has that ability. I'm sure he did it in college. I'm sure that he learned how to do that. But this is a completely different situation.
Right, exactly. It's much faster and bigger and stronger and whatever. And that's why I guess they thought putting Canada in the booth or in the up in the box,
right,
would make it better so that he could see the field more and be able to speak directly to, Kenny Pickett or the quarterback from up there. And I'm just never a fan of that. Because you don't have an opportunity to coach up a guy that you should be able to coach up a guy when something happens on the field. I think you have a much better feel for the game being on the field than you do for being up in the box.
I agree. And we talked about this, I think, last time, too. That you're missing that contact. You're very disconnected, and there's no like, what's the word? Improv or, has something happens, hey, great play, and that really changed the mood or something. You need that connection.
Yeah, just the connection, period.
Yeah.
And it's not there, and I think that's a huge mistake. And to me,
I'm sure there's coaches and stuff on the field, right? So they're doing that.
Well, yeah, because you always see Kenny Pickett sitting down with quarterback's coach.
Right.
Okay, great, but he's not the one calling the plays.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And he's basically going to tell you, now when you throw the ball, you should step forward and lean into it and extend your arm.
Right.
That's what he's there for. He's
not for the plays.
Okay, so I guess we need to hop off of that.
We could talk about Steelers and be very depressed. But let's talk about
let's talk about something even more depressing.
I was going to say, but let's talk about the Flyers. Oh, wait.
That's even more depressing. Hold on, let's check. Oh, great. Hold on. So, as we're recording this, the Flyers are playing in their reverse retros, and so this is a pretty good segue, I think, right? Because at least... I would have to say at least the expectations for the Flyers this season weren't as high as I felt that maybe the expectations for the Steelers were.
Yeah, I agree.
Right?
Because, the Flyers have been having issues. We've seen their issues. Steelers, I think we're getting to see some of the holes, you know what I mean? That we weren't necessarily seeing before.
Yeah, that Ben covered up, that other players being there covered up, that
some cracks in the foundation.
Yeah, for the Steelers now, but with the Flyers, those guys are no longer like the Couturiers are done for the year. The Ryan Ellises have only played in 4 games. Then you got Scotty Laughton just added to the list. TK added to the list. Wade Allison is on the list. Do you know what I mean? Like the list continues to get bigger, not smaller.
Right.
Now JVR did have surgery. He's expected to be back on time, which is still another couple weeks away.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Cam Atkinson is still week to week with an upper body. We don't know. That's all we know.
Right.
Right? He hasn't played yet this season. We're at the quarter mark of the season now, and he hasn't played yet. That's another big trade that Chuck has made that because of injury is not out on the ice.
Oh, hey, you know what? I have a good thing. Something positive to bring to the conversation. I'm really liking Owen Tippett. I think he's doing a good job. I mean, obviously, he's not the same caliber as what we traded for, but I think he's been a good addition to the team.
Finally starting to see him come to light in a system. See, when he came to the Flyers when it was Mike Yeo as the coach. Okay. So there was no system, and guys were out there, and he was just skating around. Well, now with Tortorella there's a system, there's a purpose, there's a means, there's responsibilities.
Okay.
But I agree with you 100%. I have been very impressed with Owen Tippett as far as his gameplay, his level of play, what he's been able to do offensively, and what he's been able to do just while he's been on the ice. Do you know what I mean? And
right.
So, yes, that is a bright spot, you can say, for the Flyers. I think Joel Farabee is slowly starting to come back into form.
Because he was injured, right?
Yeah, he had that surgery. He had that same procedure that Jack Eichel did.
Okay.
So and when you saw Jack Eichel come back, he was not the same for the first couple months. Like, it took a while for that to come back. You know what I'm saying? And so that's kind of what I'm expecting for Joel. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
But
well, I think that Tortorella is starting to see why the Flyers have been having so many problems over the last couple of years. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's starting to see what the issues are and where maybe he can change it, bring it better, make it work.
I'm with you on that, but how do you it's like you need to be able to give him some talent.
Well, maybe I keep saying maybe, but maybe he can bring those people in.
Well, that's kind of the hope, because to be honest with you, I think that management has to make a statement and either make a change moving forward in the very near future.
Yeah.
Because I don't think if you continue on the status quo that you're going to do anything, because right now the team doesn't have very much draft capital going into next season. or going into this upcoming draft. They have that one first-round draft pick. They don't have a second-round draft pick, And to try to be a rebuilding team, you need to have draft capital. So that means that guys need to be traded and draft picks need to be gotten for them.
Who do you think they'll trade first?
Well, it's like they probably won't be able to trade for some people.
Yeah.
Like and the ugly contracts that Chuck Fletcher has been handing out has made these guys virtually untradeable.
Because nobody wants to pick up that contract.
I mean, give me a break, man. Sanheim should not be remotely making that kind of money. And there's no way, and he has a no trade clause for the first couple of years of the contract. So there's no. It's like, what are you doing? Now you can't even get rid of these guys if something doesn't work out or whatever. I mean, It's like you keep walking outside and getting stung by a bee, and then you go back inside and you put some stuff on it and you get healed and. You go back outside and another bee stings you. Don't take down the bee nest. No. Keep going back outside getting stung. Let's take care of the situation here instead of,
perpetuating it.
It's kicking the can down the road here is basically what I think the team has been doing ever since Chuck Fletcher has come on board. I haven't seen any moves that he's made that's improved the team. None of the players that he's drafted and none of the players that Hextall, for that matter, that has been drafted has made an impact on this team. So that's two general managers now that haven't had any players that they've drafted make an impact on the team. That's a long time.
Yeah. For
not having an impact player come from the draft, especially if you're a rebuilding team.
That we've been rebuilding for a long time.
Since Laviolette.
It's kind of funny to see them both
on the same screen.
On the screen today.
Because they both coached the Flyers and now they're against each other again.
Oh, well. Anyway, can we talk about something happy?
Well,
or happier. Better news.
Here's the thing. The Flyers are who we thought they were. Right? And my thing is this. I'm not saying tank. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is Tortorella's going to get this team to be able to win a certain number of games, and that's going to be about the size of that. And there's going to be no more. That's all you're going to get, right? Because the talent level just ain't there. It's clear. Even playing against some of the bottom-end teams, that our talent level just isn't there. With the list of guys that are out,
right?
It's amazing that we're even able to put a team out on the ice.
Well, I mean, we do have a lot of injuries.
Like I said, it's amazing that we even have the ability to put a team out onto the ice. I mean, good gravy. It's amazing that with all the injuries that the team does have, which is why the Phantoms haven't really.
Well, because they're all being called. We just talked about that at the beginning. All their players are being called up now. And they don't have.
And they don't even know who's going to be playing from night to night. They'll have a guy who's down there who they think might be playing, but then doesn't play.
Right. And
Wait a minute.
It's hard to come up with a strategy if you don't know what pieces you have, right?
I'm also not a fan either of the Phantoms not running the same system that Tortorella is running and having and allowing Ian LePerriere to come up with his own. I really think that's a detriment to what's going on. I really feel that not having the kids, the draft picks, playing for the Phantoms, because I think that's what that's for. the Phantoms is to have those guys playing down there.
Yeah.
Instead of playing all over the bloody world. I mean, I'm not saying that Cutter Gauthier isn't playing great up in Boston.
Okay.
Because he has, and he is. I mean, he's lighting it up.
Okay.
Right? And he was even selected to go to the United States national team as well, too. So, what? But...
It doesn't seem like it would make sense, but... I mean, if you're going to have players that you're going to be, switching back and forth, you'd all like to have them all on the same page, wouldn't you?
You would think. I mean, all you have to do is look at, like, the LA Kings or the Anaheim Ducks. And all of their draft picks, for the most part, are all playing for their AHL teams.
Right.
Right? And then all their kids all come up at the same time. And now LA and Anaheim is slowly progressing into becoming more and more of a, relevant team.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? With the skill that they're building and the what they've been able to do in the draft and everything like that. So, okay. I think that's enough orange and black talk. Or as in tonight, they're wearing the black and white retros, which I absolutely adore. I mean, they just look hot, right?
You really like those jerseys, don't you?
I mean, as a fan...
Yes, I like those jerseys.
Okay? As a fan, of all of the jerseys out there that you have to choose from, okay? Mm-hmm. Like, I absolutely love the white Seattle Kraken jersey.
With the Kraken, the blue Kraken...
The white jersey with the teal Kraken. Oh my gosh, I want one of those! But the Flyers' third jerseys with the Cooperalls during warm-ups. Oh, is that Braun taking a puck off the skate there?
Oh, that didn't feel good.
That can't be good. Yeah, I am just not a fan of Braun, but I don't wish that on anybody. Because the fact that he's still on the team and playing meaningful minutes, why? Really? Oh. All right.
We have a break.
Us literally. So speaking of breaks and the Flyers, the SteelFlyers All Sports Network is going to be in the Wells Fargo house.
On Friday.
On Friday. We will be at the game against the Penguins.
Yay.
And we are utterly out of our minds excited because we get to go see the team lose in person. Right? We get to share in the misery and pain.
We will see some good fights.
Or I hope we see something. Because, I mean, we're going to be close enough to see something.
Cell phone ready. I'm just kidding.
No, I mean, really. Seriously, this will probably be one of the last times we get a chance to see Sydney. Which...
How much longer do you think he'll play?
Oh, gosh. Could this year be the last year? Could it be? No.
No.
Yeah, we'll probably see him as long as we see Malkin.
Okay.
And he just signed a 3 or 4 year extension. Yay! As long as Sidney Crosby is still playing hockey in Pittsburgh, that team will always be relevant, no matter what.
Oh, well. Hey,
and now Malkin's going to be there now for the next couple years, too.
So. No, wait, hold on. I just had this epiphany. Are you ready? In Pittsburgh, the football team sucks, but the hockey team's pretty good, right?
In Philadelphia, the football team's doing pretty good.
Right, and the Flyers suck.
And then the hockey team sucks.
It's all about balance.
All right, so you're saying that in order for things to and the Phillies,
They went to the World Series.
the Phillies went to the World. Okay, so Philadelphia has used up all its juju for the sports for this year. Right. So the Eagles are doing good, right? And the Phillies went to the World Series. So the Flyers get no juju. Sorry, you're SOL, buddy. You're just crap out of luck.
Sorry about that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're right. That is an epiphany. Oh man. All right. Well, so here we go now. Let's epiphany right into something a little better. But we did mention how the Phantoms Phacts, where they're 7-6-1 for 15 points, 7th in the Atlantic, and they're dealing with the fact that guys are in and out of the lineup with all the call-ups because of all the injuries,
Right.
And it has just been a tough year for the Phantoms as well, because they've been dealing with some of the injuries as well. Cam York went down for a little spit. And he was able to come back too, and Harrison's been down as well too. So they've been dealing with some injuries down there in the Phantoms as well too. So, but I really think that once some of the injuries start to come back, we'll start to have a better look and see.
Well, they were doing pretty well. You said they had a 5-game stretch.
Yeah, but it's like I said, it's gonna get worse before it gets better. So I mean, that's kind of what I'm looking for here on the Phantom side as well too. They're gonna play some pretty good games, I think, because their injuries and their players are not going to be as affected now with the call-ups being with the Flyers for foreseeable future now, with some of these other players being out long term. So they'll start to be able to have some of the same guys in the lineup now for the next couple of games.
Going and...
Yeah, and hopefully they'll be able to get another 5-game win streak put together. I mean, when they're out there, that's a pretty good club, all things considered. As far as I'm concerned, they have a pretty good team with Zade Wisdom and Tyson Forster and Cam York out there and Ronnie Attard and those guys playing well. So I'm looking to see the fans still be able to put it together. If Ian LePerriere can do it.
Hey, go Ian.
If Ian LePerriere can do it, then anybody.
Hey, Lappy.
Anyhow, so that's some Phantoms facts for you there, folks. I want to get that in there and talk about that because I think that affects the Flyers as well, too, in a major way. So.
Yeah.
All right, so something exciting?
Something better?
Something better.
Yes, I tried that earlier. You didn't.
I know, but what I wanted to do was save the best for last.
Oh, I see.
Right, so I strategically sidestepped and ultra edited whatever.
Okay.
Right, because how about them freaking Lions, man? They just put the slobber knocker on the Rutgers. Holy smokes! I mean, 55-10.
I know.
Like, all right. I mean, like when the second string quarterback is out there and throws 3 touchdowns. All right.
It's nice to see a team win.
All right. Now here's the thing. Now, okay, this is why I want to talk about this and save the best for last here, because Penn State started off with not even being ranked, and now they're 10th or 11th. I think they're 11th in the AP poll.
I heard 12th, but let me check.
All right, so give me 1 or 2. Either way, okay, they're in the top 13.
I'll give you that.
All right, so what do you need to be in order to get an invite to the playoffs, the top 8?
Yep.
Okay, so that means that if Penn State can beat Michigan State, will that be enough to get them into the top 8 or into the 8?
I'm not sure because is Michigan State really, because they base it a lot about who you're playing, correct? About your rank?
Yes, so some of the rank is based off of your strength of schedule. Okay? And so Michigan State and Ohio State are both very highly ranked, but they're also both undefeated in the Big Ten.
Okay. By the way, you were right. Penn State is 11th.
Okay, 11th. So, with that being said, and the only two losses that Penn State has being against Michigan State and Ohio State, and them being the third best team in the Big Ten.
I mean, it's possible. You said, what did you say?
So you say there's a chance.
Yeah, there you go. That's become your catchphrase.
That was the name of the episode last week, or last time we did a show. No, I think my catchphrase, I think I have two. Catchphrase number one is, that's as cool as a bag of unbroken Doritos. Because seriously, if you had a full bag of unbroken Doritos, that would be pretty cool, right?
I agree.
Okay. And be safe and
hang tough.
And be strong and hang tough. That's I think the other one too. So
okay.
But I'm liking Penn State with the opportunity to potentially get an invite to the playoffs.
Well, I mean, anything that, this season has been so much better than last season. I'm just...
Well, anything would have been, But yeah, that's the thing. That they started off being not ranked at all, and then slowly winning games got them ranked, and then they weren't really blown out by Ohio State.
Right.
They were in that game pretty much up until the last 6 minutes of the game.
Right.
And the only really bad game was the Michigan game.
Right.
Because that game was just, they didn't even show the frick up. Right? And they just got housed.
Right.
There was no other way to write that. There was just no other way. So, Michigan did to Penn State what Penn State did to Rutgers.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right? Penn State couldn't do anything. They couldn't even get out of their own way against Michigan, right? And Michigan just ran all up and down the field on them and just destroyed them.
Right, because once you get frustrated, you can't do anything.
I mean, so... But either way, I think they're going to be looking at a bowl game against the SEC second runner-up, whoever... Because usually whoever wins the SEC championship game gets an invite, or is one of the teams that is going to get an invite, or...
Right.
So who knows who that could be? Well, we'll have to wait and see. Oh, you're laughing at my foot making the sound. So sorry. It made the sound. That funny sound that you make. when bad things are coming out.
Honey.
Yeah. Yeah, come on, no. Anyway, so I do like the chances against Michigan State. They're already 12 or 13-point favorite, I think, already against Michigan State. They played not necessarily wasn't a horrible game, the previous game Michigan State played, but against Indiana. But Penn State pretty much handed Indiana. So it's one of those things.
Right.
I think they're going to take care of business here. So we'll see how that goes. I think Penn State's going to at least see some kind of bowl game.
Well, yeah.
Something, you know what I'm saying? So. And with that, I think we got to call it a wrap and say that we would like to wish everybody a very happy and blessed Thanksgiving, wherever you are. If you're in the United States, at least. I know our Canadian fans don't necessarily celebrate Thanksgiving on November 24th, the last Thursday in November. I believe your Thanksgiving is in October. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you guys out there, and we really appreciate you listening to us, and we really appreciate you subscribing and following us, and All you have to do is go out to all of your favorite platforms and type in Steel Flyers. Find us and subscribe and give us a 5-star rating. Also, check out the shop and go buy a T-shirt. And also be looking for the Manscaped stuff coming out as well, too. And maybe a new article from Steel's Corner. And also be looking out for some new articles from the great Lance Green, the writer extraordinaire. So, thank you, Ronice.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, always a pleasure. And you are definitely the green bean casserole.
And you're definitely the turkey.
Gobble, gobble. And with that, folks, you guys have a great Thanksgiving. And just remember to stay safe, stay strong, and hang tough.